Hi, welcome back to the Weekly Word Outdoor Adventures. We're on the third segment of the Mason Evans project that we've been doing. You can go back and watch them if you haven't seen them, get them in the order. We went to Panther Bluff, where he spent 40 years of his life after having a mental breakdown. And then we went up to the Charles Hall Museum on the Cherahela Skyway to show you that mysterious object that was found near Panther Bluff just around 30 years ago or so. And we've come to the last leg of the segment now, where we're going to show you where the old hermit Mason Evans, the Starr Mountain hermit, was laid to rest. Right here's his grave. We'll start out here and we'll talk a little bit about him. He died in 1892 in January. He went to Panther Bluff in 1852. Avoided the Civil War there, but that ain't why he went. He just had a mental breakdown. A very intelligent and talented man before that happened. The hermit, 40 years in the wilderness, as Stone said. I think a historical society put that up a number of years ago. We're a good ways from Starr Mountain here. As the crow flies, I don't know, we're probably 7 or 8 miles, but I think Mason may have went to a long circuitous trip to get here. This is at Hickory Grove House of Prayer. Right down here is the church. I'm going to pan to it. In Mason's day, it was a Presbyterian church. I think this was his family's church. It's a house of prayer today, but way back there a century or so ago, it was still a Presbyterian church. It was kind of thriving back then. A lot of people came on the train from Inglewood or Tellico, and Sunday morning they'd get off the train and go to church here. Here's a shot of the cemetery if you'd like to see it. Still upkept and really nice looking cemetery. I've got some great-great-grandparents buried right up there on that hill myself. And just beyond the cemetery, and a little pan back over here to the left where you see the dead kudzu bank here and the rock work. See the rock work? That's the old railroad bed that's no longer in service, but it used to go from Athens to Tellico Plains. I think that's probably how Mason got here. They found his frozen corpse at Panther Bluff, somebody did. A lot of things you read said he froze to death. I don't know about that. He could have died from anything. His corpse would have been frozen maybe in January 1892 anyway. But they probably took his corpse below Panther Bluff. Back then it had been the old hack road, not too far below it, half mile or so, that ran up to the White Cliff Springs Hotel. And they would probably took his corpse down to the hack road and went down to Highway 30 and took him on to Athens, where they turned him into whoever the proper authorities was and say what happened, here's the corpse. And I would assume they put him on the train at Athens and brought him back up here to the family cemetery where they buried his body at. It's been fun spending 3 weeks with you with Mason Evans, and there's some good books to read. I mentioned Torment in the Knobs. That's the best one. Everybody ought to read that one first. Frank McKinney, 1976, Torment in the Knobs. But the reason we remember him so long ago is because he led a very sad but a very colorful life. He's still talked about here in the 21st century, isn't he? Mason's already did what you and I still have to do, though. Every human being's going to have to die and go out into eternity one of these days. And I like to think that even though Mason went crazy, everything I've read about him before that point, he was a good Christian man and a credit to his community. And just like a lot of our friends and loved ones you've probably known too that had Alzheimer's or something really bad and had mental problems at the end, and a lot of them didn't know that was in the world. When they finally pass, I like to think, boy, their mind's clearer than it's ever been, and they're in the presence of the Lord. If that's so, then we'll get to meet Mason one of these days if we're a Christian and talk about some of the things. But as I said, he's already done what you've still got to do. And if you want people to remember you in this world after you've left, then don't lead a sad life, but lead life to the fullest. Do all the good that you can do, and you won't be in the pool of normalcy. People remember you for all the good things that you did and that you lived a colorful life doing all the good you could do in the world. I hope to see you in heaven if I don't see you before. See you next week anyway if we're both still here on the Weekly Word Outdoor Adventures.